I'm Sharon. I'm married and I have 4 adult children and I've got 2 little grandsons. My background was basically working with the NHS doing administration, and I also did some work in education, working in primary school and a small publishing house. But then I used to be just really a stay-at-home mum, or a social engineer, some people will call it. And I loved it. I loved bringing up the children and supporting my husband in his work and that. Now I'm going into my mature years now. I've realised that I actually want to be able to go back into the workplace. Bit different. I don't want to be a secretary anymore or do that sort of administration work, but I really want to do something that I believe is actually going to benefit other people and help them in their life, help them make maybe better choices, just help them to move on in their life where they don't really know what direction go in. Because sometimes I know for myself, even when I think back on what I've done over the years, perhaps if I'd done the coaching all those years ago, I would have gone on a very, very different path. But the Lord knows. Just sort of come to that stage in my life that I want a new career, really. And I've said before, the coaching really impacted me when my husband coached me. I want to be able to encourage and help other people in that way as well. It was because of my husband. He actually did your residential training course, and that greatly impacted his life. And in that process, he actually coached me about 3 or 4 times. It was just so amazing. It kind of brought together a lot of things that I've had an interest in my life, but somehow it just started to focus on certain specific pathways to go on for the future, and really drawing out a passion in my heart for really what I feel I'm actually called to get on and do in life. So out of that, I'd never ever considered being a coach, but because of the impact, I thought, well, if this is happening to me, there's so many other people out there that could benefit from this. And so that's why I actually enrolled to do the online course. I just found personally that it was an easier way for me to be able to actually learn, the tools of the trade within my own time, could fit in with everything else that I was doing. Yeah, I've just found it a really beneficial way of learning. I can get online and I can access the website very easily, listen to the videos, and yeah, it's just great way of doing it. Firstly, the course is not only online, but you also get a manual that comes with each module. So you've got your written word as well as seeing the visual side of the videos. And for me, I find that as a learning tool very, very easy to do. I find it easier to learn that way. There's usually a set of recordings that you've done where you've actually talking about the various coaching tools and how to use them, how to implement them into a coaching session, and also showing visually, again, someone being interviewed and how you go through that process of coaching them. So it's practical, it's taking the words that you've given in a sense and actually showing how to actually do it practically with somebody. I find that really useful, and it helps you to focus on seeing how somebody resonates where they've got a low-level passion tank or they've got a full passion tank, various things like that, and how to help people get back in their life. Just being able to coach on any sort of topic, really. Yeah, I find that useful, so I can study during the day when I've got a chance to do that. Like I say, in the evenings I can do that. Part of it is also there's live webinars every 2 weeks, and that again is really interactive with fellow students and yourself also teaching us some more things of going over the material, so that reinforces a lot of the things. It's just a wonderful way of learning that I've found for myself. I would say that it's good if you can kind of get some friends or family or even maybe strangers who would be willing to be coached by you as you're practicing these various skills. That again reinforces it and builds your confidence up. I find it brilliant. It's really great. I love learning, so to do a 12-month course isn't an issue for me. And as I say, the access to doing an online course makes it more available to everybody, I think. I just believe in it, really. I believe in the coaching course. And so for me to commit that time is actually not only developing your skills as a coach, but it's also developing me, it's changing me, it's challenging me, making me assess why do I think that way, how can I do something better. And that's not just in the coaching scenario, that is also in my sort of general life as well. I sort of think, well, why do I do things that way, or why should I be like that? You know, I've managed to coach somebody or something, do you know what I mean? I don't need to be worried about that or whatever. It's quite an all-encompassing course, to be honest. I think the greatest one is that I am actually able to coach somebody, to actually draw out of them their passions and their desires, and to actually enable them to go forward on track of what they're called to do, what their purpose is. And I'd never really seen myself able to do that in some ways. Now I've got the techniques and the tools to be able to do that and to trust them really. So that for me has been a very key thing, that I can actually really help somebody. I think that for me has been the biggest shift, really. And also with just having done the first module, to realise that you've actually got sufficient enough knowledge, in a sense, and practice that you've done in this sort of last couple of months, to actually go on and to create a business as well. And also with yourself sort of providing some really practical guidance on doing that, where to seek clients, etc., has been really helpful. I found the course amazing, really, because it's actually given me all the coaching skills that I require to actually help me set up my coaching business. And I think it gives you all the tools, the techniques to be confident in actually coaching a person and actually enabling them to find their passion and their purpose and calling in life, and to also have the confidence in helping them to know that they can go forward in what that may be, whatever that subject matter may be. I think although it may seem like a very short module, it's actually very comprehensive. And I think it's just the practice of actually implementing those tools that will develop, your skills and the depth of your ability in that, to be honest. I've definitely felt confident in. And as I've said, it's changed me doing the course. So I've also grown in confidence in dealing with other people, because I've just got a real passion and a love for it. So I've got a passion and a love for people, and the way the course has impacted me, I want that impact to go into other people's lives. The very first one was terrible.
Okay.
I felt so stilted and trying to go by the book, basically, and didn't really feel like myself. I was just trying to go through the process of it almost. So I wouldn't say that was great. But the friend who is, allowing me to practice on her, she's come back a number of times after that, and I've gone through, like I say, the course. And it's just been totally different kettle of fish. She has just started to open and develop and realising what it is she's actually being called to. And she'd sort of seen herself, if I could say, like at a lower level or lower expectation she had of herself. And she's actually now seeing herself in a very different way, and is actually excited, and has actually been phoning me to say, when can we have our next session, or whatever like that. So that's really excited me, because I thought, oh wow, I must be getting something right. I think it's actually one of the dynamic parts when you actually bring the Holy Spirit into a situation with someone, especially if it's with a believer. Then it just opens the situation much more quickly. You kind of move forward faster with them when they're actually open to listening to what God has to say to them. And it's great, because you're not there, you're just facilitating it. You're not there inputting, well, perhaps God's saying this to you or whatever. It's literally giving them space and time to actually allow the Lord to come and talk, and usually give some very significant words or impressions and things that helps them move forward. It's been 2.5 months, I think. We started at the beginning of September and it's near the end of November, but I would say probably about 2.5 months. I can't think of the sort of number of hours in the week, but I find that if me personally, how I learned that just even going through maybe half a chunk of the videos that we have on a subject or whatever, if I go through it like that, it imprints in me what's being said. I then also take notes down when I'm listening to the videos, and also the actual manual complements that. So I just find that that's how I work with it. And then obviously when you sort of complete the section, you usually have an assignment. So that's when it's good to have your study really, or whoever, to implement what you've just been learning. So it's more practical with you. For me, I've actually set up a coaching business. So I've learnt, I feel like, some of the major skills to enable myself to actually start having clients that would pay. So I've seen that as being a very important part for me, because I want to be able to have paying clients. So it's been very valuable, but it's also happened in a very short space of time really. But I also know that for the rest of the course, I'm also going to learn perhaps greater depths of the main tools that I've learned already. I think for me it gives you confidence and boldness. It gives you some life skills and how to interact with people, how to manage yourself, because part of the course is also self-management. So, you don't just always rush in with your thoughts or whatever on something. You just learn how to pace yourself and to try and ask appropriate questions, or even just out of interest with somebody. You could just be having a conversation and you suddenly find yourself asking things like, oh, how does that make you feel? Things like that. And it's really good. It's really good. I would highly recommend it. I wouldn't even question it, whether you do the the first module, or if you go on for the 12 months. It's a tremendous investment, and I see it as an investment for life really, because it's going to affect life and it's going to affect many other people, and it's all for good.